Okay,
And so
that's correct.
we are recording. So Sarah, I know you'd mentioned that you'd asked like people for a couple of questions. Do you want to start with that, or are there any like specific things that you want me to go over, talk about?
Yes, I think that's great. If you want to just kind of go over those questions, I felt like they were all pretty general.
Okay.
I think speaking for our team, maybe everybody's kind of in a lull. Everybody's kind of not sure where to go from here. Maybe, you know, we all kind of started and had a lot of success. I mean, like I was 3 years ago, Brittany and Kathy, I mean, y'all been going for a couple of years really too. And so I felt like the consensus from the team was kind of what now? Like if you kind of feel like you're in a lull, how do we keep reaching out? People aren't responding anymore. There's so many new products. There's so many new things out right now. We won't mention any names, but you know, but it can feel frustrating sometimes to feel like you're stagnant. So what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I want to, I want to validate those feelings. We have been, you guys have been with me since the very beginning, and none of us anticipated when we did the back office changeover in October of 2016 that it was going to be the arduous process that it has been. And that combined with the new, in May of last year, so we're coming right up on a year ago, Plexus kind of was forced into a situation with the credit card companies where we had to really turn the dial up to 20 on fraud filters. And, we've all encountered problems with people whose orders should have gone through. They always went through before. We don't know why they didn't go through this time. And we're starting to slowly piece together, things like, and a lot of it has to do with chip cards. I don't know if y'all have had issues trying to, my chip card, I can't use it at a gazillion online places that I used to be able to. And it has something to do with, whatever your information is on file with at your bank has to be exactly how you signed up with at Plexus. So if your bank statement, has your home address as such and such street, but it's spelled out STREET, but when you entered it in on a Plexus website, you just put ST, that's one of the things that'll set off the fraud filters. So as you are recruiting new people, as you are troubleshooting, even wholesale, we're kind of getting away from the term wholesale ambassador and really trying to retrain, we're calling them VIP customers, because most of us have a lot of those people. We have a lot of people that love our products, that want our products, that have faithfully remained on the products, but they either haven't bought into the vision of the business side of it yet, or they're never going to. So we really have to treat those people like we would a solid customer base. And so even as you're recruiting new people like that, I know, Sarah, you signed your uncle up this week, walking them through the sign-up process and making sure. So this is another thing that I wanted to talk about, some notes that I had for you guys, and I'll just cover it real quick. It's no longer called a backup order anymore, which we're so glad about, because that was such confusing terminology to begin with. It's now a convenience order, and really you just tell people as they're signing up, you want to set this up because it's the most convenient way to receive your products every month. But this is where I go back to how important it is to walk them through the process, because we didn't realize up until last week that there's actually a little box and they have to check it for the system to save their credit card information. If that box is not checked, then it will not save the convenience order. Because I was getting all these calls from people that were saying the convenience order isn't sticking, what are we doing wrong? And that little box has to be checked. So I just wanted to, that's like a housekeeping item that I wanted to make sure and cover with you guys. The thing about this business, and this is a natural law. It is a supernatural principle that we have seasons of sowing and we have seasons of reaping. And most of us, when we began our businesses 3 years ago, we were reaping we actually began in a reaping season because it was based off of the, for me, 40 years worth of relationships that I had built with people. I had been a relational person. I'd been building my network. I'd been, gaining people's trust for years before that. And so, immediately when we started, we were all having success quickly. What happens is eventually your warm market is going to start to dry up a little bit. Your warm market being the people that you interact with on a daily basis. It's kind of that Frank's list that we talk about, your friends, your relatives, associates, neighbors, people that your kids are, do life with, baseball teams, all of those fun things. And, it just, after a while, especially because we were one of the first network marketing companies to harness the power of social media, it was really easy to get our message out there and get it out there quickly. And then, we have probably the same amount of competitors that we've ever had. The issue is just that they all started to see the success, the phenomenal success and growth that Plexus was having, and started to utilize social media as well. And that can make our message get, kind of lost in the noise. You kind of become the white noise. And everybody's always after whatever they think the latest, greatest thing is. I think that the biggest thing when you feel stuck is there's a couple of things that always need to happen. And that was kind of the principle of the mile markers that we went through. Was that last month or the month before? I swear this year's going by so fast. But really reconnecting to your why, because if you're like me, your why has evolved. Or it should have, over the last 3 years. I always have told you guys that my why in the beginning was I just wanted to get my products covered because I couldn't afford them if I didn't have people ordering from me. I didn't sit down and join Plexus with like this bedrock of belief that I was going to be a diamond someday, or in anything, even a silver for that matter. But so really and this is what I would encourage you guys to do, is to drill down into your why. Kind of look at it like, okay, if your why right now is, I would like to be able to do $500 a month for my family. When you sit down to put pen to paper, don't just say, well, I need to make $500 for your family. Why do you need to make $500 for your family? What would $500 mean to your family? What is that the difference in? Is that the difference in a bill being paid? Is that the difference in your husband being able to, quit a part-time job that he's taken on and have more time at home? Is that the difference between, your kids being able to be in activities that they really want to be in right now, but it's just not in the budget? And really dial down into those things. I've had to, I've come to places in my business several times where I've had, to reconnect to this. And I feel like for me, the Lord has brought things, full circle, because in the beginning it was, I wanted to get my products covered. Well, then it was, I really wanted to see how much of a business success this could be for my family. And, we've blown past those goals. Now my thing is I want it to be residual, which, the whole definition of residual income is it's income that you continue to earn long after the work has been done. Because I know what that looks like in terms of my kids going to college and in terms of our retirement and things like that. I want to be able to give. We're part of a new church here in Lubbock, and we don't have a building, and we have to raise $150,000 for a building. And so to be able to give generously to a ministry is a big part of my why. But then really getting back into what drew me to Plexus in the very beginning is my passion for women's health. My passion to, anytime I meet somebody and they feel miserable and they've really given up any hope that anything could ever be any different for them, that is what gets me excited and gets me passionate again, and reminds me about how amazing our products are. And I'll tell you, I was just in Pennsylvania and Ohio this last weekend with some teams there, and this is really the importance of events. And I don't care if it's an online event. I don't care if it is a coffee with a friend. I don't care if it's a meeting that you're doing in your home. I don't care if it's I come to Amarillo or somewhere and we do a large thing. Getting to hear people's testimonials will always reignite your passion. It will always reignite your why, because I got to hear from women who I've never met before that, it's like a 6 degrees of separation that they're on my team somehow, that were bedridden, had given up all hope, that were on, gosh, this one lady, I think she said she was on like 16 different prescriptions and she's not on any now. And so I just think that is a really big part of it. When you feel stuck, when you feel, when it starts to feel like it's hard and not like it's fun anymore, or not like you have passion for it anymore, is when you've got to get back to the belief building and the vision casting. And I didn't never set out asking you guys to do things like dream boards. But I would really encourage you, even as a small team, as an accountability group, make some dream boards. They're easy to do with like, Insta layout, or, there's all kinds of collage things that you can do now. It doesn't have to be, if you want to do like a big poster one, like you would for a science fair project, go for it. But, I have mine and it's on my phone and I can revisit it and I can look at it, and it doesn't have to be that. I'm not saying it can't be that you want to have some dream home, but sometimes it's like you've got to have long-term goals, and then you've got to have the short-term goals that you can set for yourself, that you can check off, and that gives you all the feels when you have, when you've reached and you have achieved that goal. And so it might be, to put your daughter in ballet, or might be on the dream board, but at the same time, getting out of debt might be on the dream board. That's always been a big thing on mine, is just that whole debt snowball. And it's encouraging when you start to see that you're able to chip away at that. But the outside of the vision and the belief, I think the biggest thing is, you can see now that we did those mile markers. And if y'all didn't participate in those, Sarah, I have a file with all of that stuff in it, and it might be great for you to just walk your team through that on your team page, because that really helped us. What we realized is that we spent a year in such almost like catastrophe mode of chasing down every system error and system issue, and we went into management mode over all of those things. And what suffered were doing the daily basic things that we did in the beginning to build our businesses. And so that's what the mile markers will help to do, to help kind of get everybody back on track. And then now you can see that we've moved to what we call these income producing activity challenges and these daily action stacks. And it basically, if you haven't seen them yet, I also have and if you're not in the group, let me know and I can add you to it, or that can be something that y'all choose to do just as your own core team. But the daily action stacks, it starts with a time of either a quiet time of reflection, of daily affirmations, whatever. However, daily affirmations, I totally believe in them, but it always makes me feel like Stuart Smalley a little bit. But they're super, super important, and they really do work. It doesn't have to be some weird thing. Then it's like, it's little activities, like if you'll notice every day when you get on Facebook, it'll tell you whose birthday it is. And if it's somebody that, you haven't talked to about plexus yet, or, maybe you're relatively new friends on Facebook, or maybe it's somebody you went to high school with and you haven't talked to them in years, simply getting on there and sending them a birthday message starts to put you and what you're posting on Facebook in their newsfeed. You can also use that time to like or comment on a couple of their pictures, but you don't want to get lost in Facebook land. It's really easy when you're scrolling through Facebook to feel like it's income producing, but it oftentimes can turn into a major time suck. And we don't want you to get lost in that. And then, it's really the basic activities that we talked about from the very beginning, the reaching out to 5 new people every day. Now, automatically, a lot of us, if you're like me, my personality, you tell me I've got to reach out to 5. Like, I took that at first and I was like, oh, heck no. 5 people? What? And, I'm thinking we ask them to make a 100-person Franks list. They're going to blow through that thing, and in no time fast. But here's what we've got to get away from. If you are at the place where I have been in my business, where you feel like I've tapped my warm market, then your focus has to shift to 2 areas. It's got to shift to expanding your network and, meeting new people. So like Ephraim is at a new school this year. So there's lots of opportunities for me to meet new moms through volunteering at the school or PTA, or he's about to be on soccer. And so those are all new connections. So those names are going to be going on my Franks list. We're at a new church. So those are new connections as well. Y'all, I am not going to lead with plexus with these people. I am going to work on building a relationship with them. There's a lady here in town who is like a big time entrepreneur. They call her the franchise queen of Lubbock because, little known fact, Lubbock has turned into the franchise capital of Texas. We have, which is not necessarily a great thing for, local businesses, but whatever. Anyway, this lady and her husband, I think, own like 8 different franchises, and she's just very influential. And, she's been on my like chicken list for, the year that I've known her. Well, I posted something the other day, and we'll message back and forth because she owns the dry bar here. So, I want to get in good with her. But I posted something the other day about this new drug that was out for eczema, and just did a little hashtag about, it all being about the gut. And y'all, probably 30 minutes, she messaged me and was like, my daughter has terrible eczema. We have tried everything. Like, do you think this could help? And I, of course, was like, no, I know it can help, and sent her some testimonials and got her hooked up with Probio 5 and with body cream. But y'all, that was a year's worth of, and she literally told me in the message, she said, if this works, I will promote you everywhere, which I was like, please let it work. No, I know it'll work, but anyway, so that's just a personal example of things that I'm doing, in my own daily IPA right now. I was listening to Tech Talk, which is our local tech sports radio, the other day, and my husband has a huge man crush on this guy named Choice Woodman, who's one of the radio guys. And I actually taught with his wife when I was teaching when we first moved here. And he started talking about how he has diabetes in his family and how he has all these blood sugar issues and how he always gets hangry. And so I immediately picked up my phone and I messaged his wife, because I've talked to her about plexus before, but I never knew this whole thing about her husband. And I just was like, hey, can I hook you up with a 7-day trial? And she was like, please, like, I will get him going on it. So it's just little things like that are people that, may or may not have ever seen anything or have tuned out, what I had been posting about plexus. I just reconnected with a girl that was on Michael's record label when he was in music, ages ago. And so it's all part of me trying to take, I unfollow most plexus people now, because God knows we don't need to see, not my team, but like all the peripheral people, because I want more of the people that I need to connect with, that I need to talk with, that I need to build relationship with, to show up in my Facebook feed. Instagram is another like exploding market. but you have to do the same thing there. You know, if you find out you've got a new follower, you reach out to them and you say, hey, thanks for following me. You know, I noticed you liked my post, and kind of just start networking and building relationships in that way. There's some really great training videos on that. One is done by a diamond named Bridget Ryan, who has 500 level ones, and 300 of them she got from Instagram. Yeah, I don't have the bandwidth for that. But here is something that I think if we had all understood from the beginning, and you know, there are good things about having never done network marketing before. There are other things that, you know, it's like, oh gosh, I really wish I'd known this. But, you know, my understanding of network marketing when I joined Plexus was about like this. And all I had ever heard before was like that you had to, you know, have these legs and they had to be balanced and they needed to go deep. And, you know, our company is just completely different. And, you know, I would sit here today if I could tell myself, you know, if I knew in the beginning what I know now, I would say go as wide as you possibly can. Don't stack under people. Gain as many personally sponsored people as you can, because that's really the key to the longevity with this company. It's telling me that we have to wrap up in 10 minutes. So I didn't spring for the however many dollars it was a month for my new Zoom account. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Like about anything I've covered so far? If you do, unmute yourself and you can ask.
One question I'd have, I've been reaching out to a lot of ladies in lupus groups, kind of like what you said, you know, the ladies are so miserable and so sick. Hey, I take a great anti-inflammatory. It's natural. Wow, what is it? Let me know, you know, the minute it becomes, the minute they discover that network marketing is involved, they're gone. Doesn't matter if it works, doesn't matter, you know, and I've tried, well, where do I get it? I don't say I sell it. I've tried to say, well, it's distributed by ambassadors, such as myself. You know, I've tried not to just come right out and say network, but everybody runs away very fast.
You know what I would do? I would actually flip your approach on that. And I would, when you reach out to these people, I think I would say, have you ever tried Plexus for lupus? You know, have you ever tried using any Plexus products for lupus? And if you've built relationship with them where y'all have kind of commented on each other's posts and stuff like that in the group, and you feel comfortable to send that as a voice message, that's a great way to do it, because people have to listen to it to know what you say, and it shows up as a voice message. And so they're like, what is that person said? But I think that if the thing is leading with a question and saying, have you tried Plexus? And this goes across the board for anybody, whether it's, you know, somebody with lupus or whether it's just somebody that you've had on your list to reach out to and you just haven't had the guts to. And you just message them and say, have you tried Plexus? And if the lady responds back and says, yes, it didn't work for me, then that's your end to say, really, that surprises me. What did you try? Because this is how I was before. And this is how I am now. And I attribute it completely to this product regimen. Because a lot of times, Kathy, what you will find is that, you know, we've seen this in our own downlines of people who try something and it doesn't work in the first 30 days. And so they quit, they're out, you know, or they ordered from somebody because they were like, well, my friend, you know, sells this. And so I'm going to order from her. And then that person knows nothing about troubleshooting. They know nothing about explaining, you know, the detox rates, because somebody with lupus is going to have detox reactions, right? And so you can imagine if they started these products and had no guidance on how to take them, and they had a horrible Herx reaction, that they probably thought, oh my God, I'm never going to touch that stuff again. Whereas if somebody had told them from the beginning, you know, look, this is a possibility. we will guide you through it. We will push you through it. We will make sure. Now, if they come back and they say, yes, or no, I haven't ever heard of it. Is that network marketing? Then you say, yeah, it is. And the products have absolutely changed my life. And don't even make it about the business side of it at this stage of the game. Make it about your personal testimony, your personal story, because that is the single most powerful thing that you have in your toolbox is your story. It doesn't necessarily, I get asked people all the time, like, hey, can you send my friend your thyroid story? And I'm like, yeah, I can, but you've been helped as well. So tell them your story. And I do think that there is something to third-party validation. Sure. But I think, you've got an incredible testimony that you should feel confident and bold in leading with that. And so even if they come back and they say, nah, it's not network marketing, or if it's network marketing, I'm not into that, then I think if you want to be really bold, you can say something to the effect of, I'm really glad that I didn't let that fact. Yeah, that was kind of a iffy for me too, but I'm really glad that I didn't let that hold me back, because I've had 3 years of incredible health because of these products. And I feel like I got my life back. So that would be my tactic.
Good points.
So, all right, we have 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, is that we definitely need to be doing more of these check-ins with you guys. Absolutely. Sarah, I'm going to get you the mile markers.
Sounds good.
I would just start them on, because I know that there are people, like Sarah's my level 2, Amy's my level 3. Brittany, what are you, like a 5 to me? 4 or 5? So a lot of people, like if you've got a team page and then you added them to your sponsor's team page and then they got added, they start to become they may have even removed themselves from the well at this point. And so they likely may not even know of these things that we've been doing. So it's really great to kind of take the same stuff and then y'all just put all your traffic on Sarah's team page right now. Like focus everybody on that. Like we're going to combine superpower forces and we're going to maybe, admin this as a team because we want to have one page that we get people majorly engaged in. Whether they're just wholesale VIP people or whether they are brand new or whether they have been with us and, kind of want to re-engage their business. So
that's really good. Yeah.
Okay. I hope that this was helpful for you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Rachel, so much.
Oh, no, absolutely. I love this. I hate that I have the Zoom ticker breathing down my neck. I'm like, come on, get it out.
Hey, and I just want to really affirm, the ones that have joined this call and the ones that couldn't even join, because I know there was other stuff going on tonight, Sunday night, and Passover stuff. But I just want to give a huge shout out to those who have pushed through. Kathy, Brittany, Tracy, Amy Almarad. I mean, all of y'all have just pushed through. I know I joined 3 years ago, but y'all have all joined on real quickly. And y'all pushed through the highs, the lows, tough times. But you're still there. You're still taking your products. And I think, we all want to push forward. And so I'm excited that Rachel's going to send me this stuff, and we'll push it on our page. And I know even for Amy and I, it gets a little frustrating sometimes that it feels like 3 of us, are pushing through, but it's worth it because I know what it's meant to us, what it's meant to y'all. And even if it's just us 4 or 5 that are pushing forward, it's worth it. So know that I love y'all dearly, and I'm so grateful and grateful for Rachel's help. You're awesome.
Well, you guys are all amazing, and I affirm this team as well. And there's a really great call. I'm making this list of all this stuff that I need to send you, but I want y'all to listen to, I'll have you posted on your team page, Sarah, a call by Fallon Black, who's a diamond now, who was with the company for 2 years. She'd hit gold. She dropped back to like no points, and she rebuilt from there and had one of the fastest growing teams in our company last year. So it's totally possible. So okay, it's cutting me off.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.